Hi guys, my name is Bappy Hamed and welcome to my YouTube channel. So guys, we are going to learn one very interesting and amazing and trending concept nowadays called MCP, Model Context Protocol. So those who are already working in the field of generative AI, I think you have heard of this name called MCP. So all the people out there, they are talking about this MCP. So what exactly the MCP is, okay? What is this model context protocol? We'll try to understand each and everything. So this is going to be a series guys on my YouTube channel. So that means I'm going to create couple of video on top of this MCP. So make sure guys you watch all the let's say video, okay, whatever video I'm going to publish on top of this particular topic. So I think this will give you the enough idea regarding the MCP, and I believe that you will be able to use this MCP concept inside your development. Okay, so here if I am talking about the MCP, there is nothing related theory, it's all about practical. So I will more focus on the practical development. Okay, I will also show you some different projects implementation with the help of this MCP. Then I think your understanding would be more clear. So first of all, let's try to understand what is this MCP is. So for this, we'll be referring one website. So guys, you can see this is the website called Model Context Protocol .io. Okay, /introduction. If you go in this particular site, so here you can see that MCP is an open source protocol that standardizes, okay, how applications provide context to LLM. Think of MCP like a USB port for AI application. Just as USB-C provides a standardized way to connect your devices, okay, to various peripherals and accessories, MCP provides a standardized way to connect AI models to different data sources and tools. Okay, so what this means actually, I'm going to explain. You can consider MCP is like a USB-C port. I think you already know that what is USB-C ports. So let me show you one example. So guys, here you can see one example. Let's say here you have a laptop, and here you are connecting different let's say devices, like you are connecting keyboard, you are connecting mouse, you are connecting monitor, you are connecting camera, speaker. Okay, so here you are connecting each and everything, okay, individually with the help of this particular wire. Now here what we have to do, we have to connect all the devices individually here. Okay, one by one we have to connect every devices. That means we need more ports here, yes or no, right? But if I'm talking about USB-C, okay, so in USB-C what you can do guys, only you just need to let's say connect this USB-C and all the devices you can connect here. Okay, whether it's your keyboard, whether it's your mouse, whether it's your let's say cameras, whether it's your speakers, everything you can connect. Okay, so this is like more clean way to let's say connect all the devices to our computers. Okay, and if I show you the previous example, so here you have to connect everything. Okay, you can say individually, okay, one by one, and for this you need more ports here. Now I think you got it why they are calling this MCP as USB-C port. Now let's try to understand this MCP concept in more detail. Before that, first of all, we just need to understand how our website works. So let's say whenever we hit any kinds of URL, how it works exactly. So you can see guys, let's say here whenever we are hitting any kinds of URL, let's say you are hitting this particular website, https://www.DSwithBappy.com. okay, so whenever you are hitting this website, so you will be getting the response. Okay, what you get some kinds of landing page. Okay, so here which protocol you are using HTTPS protocol, okay, to hit the request to this particular website. Okay, and as a response you are getting something called JSON. I think those were from I think web development, and if you have already built some API, right, with the help of Flask, then with the help of this first API, I think you already know how these things works, yes or no. Okay, so that means here what we are doing, so here we are sending a request with the help of this HTTPS protocol. Okay, protocol, you can also call it as a medium. Okay, so here this HTTPS medium we are using, okay, to hit this particular URL. And inside a website, I think you know that there would be different route. Let's say there would be logging route, there would be live stream route, there would be courses route if it is in let's say a tech platform. So that time actually these are the route should be there. So let's say if user is hitting /login, so they will be getting the login page. If someone is hitting the live stream, so they will be getting the live stream, let's say landing page. If someone is hitting, let's say, /courses, they will be seeing my courses there. Okay, so that's how we have different routes. Got it? And whenever, let's say, we use something called postman, okay, postman, and whenever we hit the request to the server, so it returns some kinds of response. Okay, and this response format is a JSON format. So always you can see all the website protocol, you will see that JSON response they are using. Okay, because JSON is a universal language, okay, for all kinds of, let's say, web operations you are doing at the end, okay, over the internet. Because this JSON supports all the programming language, whether you are coding in Python, whether you are coding in Java, whether you are coding in C++, all the programming language supports this JSON. Okay, that's why whatever response actually we get usually from the website itself, okay, we get as a JSON format. And the process, this particular protocol, okay, we are following, let's say we are sending the request to the server with the help of postman, we do it with the help of API, okay, REST API. So I think you know what is REST API, right? So those who have already used Flask and Fast API, I think you know what is REST API. Got it? So with the help of REST API, we do this particular operations, and it returns some kinds of JSON, let's say, response. Okay, and the entire things we can consider as a web protocol. Okay, web protocol, and with the help of this particular HTTPS medium, we are doing the entire thing. Okay, we are hitting this particular URL. So here it is working as a medium. That means here everything is taken care by this HTTPS protocol. Okay, so here it is working as a medium here. So now let's try to understand the MCP concepts. So guys, before understanding the MCP concept, first of all, let's try to understand why MCP came, okay, and why people have started using the MCP, okay, and what is the importance of the MCP. So you can see in our traditional GenAI, what we used to perform, let's say we used to give a prompt, that means the input to the LLM, and LLM will give you some kinds of output or response. Okay, so here the LLM we are using, it can be any kinds of LLM. Let's say it can be GPT, it can be Llama, it can be Mistral, okay, any kinds of LLM you can use. That means these are like pre-trained model, okay, pre-trained model, and it has some knowledge cutoff, okay, knowledge cutoff. So what is knowledge cutoff? Knowledge cutoff means this model has trained with some specific duration of the data. Let's say I'm talking about GPT, let's say 3. So if you go to the GPT, if you go to the OpenAI website, okay, OpenAI models website, you will see that this GPT 3, 3 or let's say 3.5 turbo has been trained with, I think till 2021, okay, till 2021 year, okay. So whatever data was there, they took the data and they trained this particular GPT 3.5 model, or it's a 3 model. Okay, so after 2021, okay, whatever data we have over the internet, okay, whatever information we have over the internet, this model doesn't know that. So if you're asking anything beyond that, beyond 2021, this model will give you the response, I don't have sufficient amount of information regarding your questions. Okay, so to solve this particular problem, we started using another concept. Let me show you. So the concept name is RAG. Okay, so how RAG we can use to solve this particular problem statement, I think you remember. So here we use our custom document. Okay, let's say we use our custom document. Okay, let's say we have some private data and I want to add those are the information to my LLM. We'll be creating a knowledge base. Okay, we'll be creating a knowledge base with the help of some vector database. Okay, vector database, I think you already know that. Those who have already worked with generative AI, RAG based system, right? Even in my YouTube channel also, I have the complete course on top of this GenAI. You can see that generative AI mastery course. So there I already explained this particular part, okay, how RAG works, how to implement the RAG. So everything I have explained there. So if you are completely new to this GenAI, so please try to watch that particular video, then you can come here, then you will be able to understand. So with the help of RAG concept, we can solve this particular problem, because here we try to create a knowledge base. So whenever user is giving any kinds of input, first of all, this input will go to the knowledge base. Knowledge base will try to return some relevant response with respect to that. Then your LLM will try to receive that and it will process, then it will give you the output. Got it? But again, there is another issue still we are facing. What issue? The issue is like, if we have any real time, okay, real time data, or let's say real time news, real time, let's say any kinds of weather, or let's say any kinds of information which is happening real time. So if you are asking these kinds of questions, let's say you are asking one questions to the LLM, tell me the current weather in, let's say, USA. Definitely your LLM will not able to give you the response, because here in the knowledge base you are using some other data. Let's say here I'm using regarding DSwithBappy data, okay, about my channel data. So it will only respond you on top of my channel information. If I'm asking related to any other thing, let's say I'm asking tell me the news, okay, tell me the news of 2025, or let's say tell me the news of April, okay, 2025. So this model will fail that time. Got it? So for this we can't use this particular RAG based system. So that's why another technology came, which is nothing but agents. Okay, so I think you already know what is agents. Okay, agents and tool. So nowadays we use something called agents and tool for our GenAI application development. Okay, so here what happens, let's say you have a large language model. So what you do with the help of some agents framework, let's say you have Crew AI, okay, you have Crew AI, you have LangGraph, okay, LangGraph, and there are some more libraries available. With the help of that, what you can do, you can create the agents. That means you can connect with different tools. So these are like tools. Okay, you can see SARP API, Wiki, DuckDuckGo. Then we have Tabili. So these are like a tools. Okay, so what this tool does. So let's say whenever your user is asking any kind of question, let's say user is asking, tell me the latest news of 2025. So what it will do, it will first of all check to the LLM knowledge base whether this particular answer is available or not. If it is not available, it will first of all see how many tools it has. Okay, let's say in this case I'm using 3 tools. So in this case what will happen, your LLM will try to decide which tool to use. Okay, let's say it will use the SARP API, because if you see SARP API at the end, it's a Google search. Okay, so here you can perform Google search. So it will try to do the search operation, tell me the latest news of 2025, and this SARP API will go over the Google. It will search that particular results, and this results it will pass to the LLM as a context. Okay, then LLM will refer that particular context, and LLM will try to give you the response, okay, with respect to that. So that's how these agents works. So if you are asking anything which is real time, okay, which is like very latest news, so it will use the tool, different tool. Let's say you are asking let's say any kinds of things which is available over the Wikipedia, so it will use the Wikipedia tool. Let's say DuckDuckGo, this is another search tool. So with the help of that, it will use different tools to give you the response. Now here you can also add only one tool, you can also add multiple tool. Let's say you want a tool for the image search, you want a tool for the language translation. So that's how different tools are available. Okay, so it's not like that whenever we are creating the agents we are only using one tool. We'll be using multiple tools, and to use the multiple tools, guys, what we do, we just write a glue code, different glue code. Okay, so let's say to connect with SARP API we have to write a glue code. Then to connect with Wikipedia we have to write a glue code. Okay, then to connect with DuckDuckGo search we have to connect write a glue code. Okay, glue code. That means if you are using 100 of tools, okay, 100 of tools, you have to write this configuration 100 times. Okay, for all the 100 of tools. Okay, so this is another issue. Let's say in future there is an update in the SARP API integration. So what you have to do, again you have to change your code here. Okay, you have to change your code here. Then there is an update in Wikipedia tool, you have to change your code here. So if you are managing 100 of tools, it would be very much difficult for you to change all the configurations, all the connections, and it's very difficult, guys, because just try to consider, if I'm creating a agents, very powerful agents, it will use multiple tools. Okay, like 100 of tools. So that time managing 100 of tools, it would be very much difficult for me. All the configurations file, all the, let's say this connections thing, I have to write manually there. Okay, so to prevent this kinds of issue, your MCP comes into picture. Now let's try to see how MCP solve this particular problem. So guys, here we can see one demo, MCP connection with LLMs. Okay, now see, again here we are using tools only. You can see different tools. Let's say you are using SARP API, you are using Wiki, you are using, let's say, DuckDuckGo, or let's say Tabili. Okay, anything you are using. The only change is, okay, instead of connecting directly the LLM with this particular tool, okay, like instead of doing the manual connection, okay, individual connection, we are using some kinds of medium. Okay, we can call it as a medium, and this medium we call it as a MCP. Okay, MCP, and it use one protocol to connect with this particular tool. You can use thousands of tools here. Okay, MCP will try to take care everything. Okay, and what is the main benefit to use the MCP? I'll tell you. Okay, so one thing I think you can observe, so this is like a USB C type C port. Okay, so you can see only one connection, and here you can connect as much as device you can, as much as tool you can. Okay, that's why we call it as a USB C port. Okay, USB C port, this MCP. Okay, I hope now this part is clear. So previously what we used to do, if I show you previously what we used to do, we used to individually connect with our tools. Okay, we used to individually write all the configurations, all the connections. But in MCP we use MCP medium, we use MCP protocol to connect with different tools. Okay, and what is the main advantage of using that? So let's try to discuss it. Now see here, I have shown one demo. So let's say this is our MCP. Okay, MCP connections. So see, in MCP we have some components. Okay, let's try to understand all the components. So the first component, you will see that MCP host. Okay, MCP host. So what is MCP host? It is nothing but like where you are running your MCP. Okay, where you are running your MCP, where you have the MCP, let's say, configuration. Let's say in this case you can use something called Cursor AI. Okay, Cursor AI. You can also use something called Claude. Okay, Claude recently also let's say integrated MCP. Okay, in their, let's say, desktop application. Make sure you're using desktop application. Okay, so if you're using Claude desktop application, there you can do MCP operations. Okay, and there is another one called Cursor AI. This is kinds of VS Code only. Okay, so there also you will be getting the MCP host. That means MCP host means where your MCP is running. Okay, then it use something called MCP client. Okay, MCP client. So with the help of this MCP client, it do the communication with the MCP server. That means MCP has three component. One is the MCP host. Let me write here, MCP host, the first one. Second one is MCP client, MCP client, and the third one is MCP server. Okay, MCP server. So with the help of these three component, it try to do entire protocol. Okay, protocol, and we call it as MCP protocol. You can see. And how this thing works, let's say whenever anyone sending any query, first of all it will go to the MCP host and it will use something called MCP client. Okay, with the help of MCP client, it will communicate with the MCP server, and MCP server will try to connect with different tools. Let's say here you have code based tools, you have database tools, you have APIs tools, you have DuckDuckGo search, you have SARP API. Okay, any kinds of tool you can use. That means what is happening, this MCP, okay, MCP is trying to manage the entire connection protocol. So you can just write here, so this particular part is managed by, okay, managed by service provider. Okay, providers. That means all kinds of service you can use. Okay, whether it's a DuckDuckGo, whether it's a, let's say, SARP API, any kinds of image related tools. Okay, that means you can add as many as MCP server. Okay, as many as MCP server, and you can connect with as many as tools you can. Let's say you are connecting with SARP API, you are connecting with Tabili API. Okay, anything you can connect here. Okay, that means in just a single, let's say, configuration, you are connecting with different let's say tools, and this is managed by the service provider. That means if any changes is happening, let's say some connection configuration is changing in the SARP API. Okay, so instantly they will try to upgrade there. Okay, upgrade in the MCP server and whatever, let's say, tools you are using, inside that they will make the changes. That means you are not supposed to change the connection. Okay, you are not supposed to change your glue code. That means only you just need to follow the MCP connection protocol glue code. Okay, that means here also you will be writing the glue code only, but that code will remain same. Okay, so you are not going to change the, let's say, tools integration code. Let's say whatever connection change they will do, whatever, let's say, update they will do, they will try to take care entire part. Okay, so here you are not supposed to handle this particular scenario. Only you will be learning how we can connect with the MCP clients and how we can connect with different MCP servers. Okay, and automatically it will take care everything for you. Okay, so that is the main advantage we get here whenever we use something called MCP. Okay, and the entire mechanism, okay, the entire mechanism we call it as a MCP protocol. That means first of all, you can see MCP host, then with the help of MCP clients, it is connecting with the MCP server, different MCP server, and MCP server is trying to connect with different services, like you have SARP API, Tabili, code base. Okay, then you have database APIs, whatever tools you have. Okay, if you are using thousands of tools also, still you can easily connect because everything is managed by the MCP protocol. Okay, you are not supposed to take care this part. Okay, and if any updates are happening by the provider, okay, by the service provider, they will take care. Okay, they will take care their, let's say, connection or whatever, let's say, code they are changing, they will take care everything with respect to the MCP servers. Okay, so you are not supposed to handle this particular scenario. Okay, only you just need to know. So here you just need to know how to use this particular MCP. Okay, MCP integration inside your development. So this is the entire idea. Now if I show you my previous example, so here you can see, guys, here this particular functionality is not there. That means here we are connecting everything manually. Okay, we are connecting everything manually. That means if any changing is happening, we also need to take care this particular part. But in the MCP integration, here we are not supposed to handle this particular scenario. Okay, so everything would be managed by the service provider, and everything will try to take care by the MCP, let's say, protocol. Only you just need to know how to use the MCP for your development. Okay, I hope now this part is clear. What is MCP exactly? So guys, now let's try to see how your LLM will try to get the context. Okay, if you're using the MCP protocol here. So let's say here I can give you one demo. Let's say this is your MCP host. So here you are getting the input. Okay, input from the user. So first of all, this input will go to the MCP host, and it will use something called MCP client. And with the help of MCP client, it will send the request to the MCP server, and MCP server will try to return how many tools it has. Okay, let's say in this case I have two tools, APIs and database. Okay, so these two tools should be returned. Okay, these two tools should be returned. So let's say here user is asking one question. So now what will happen? This particular questions, okay, questions will go to the LLM. Okay, as well as whatever tools you have, it will also go to the LLM. So now what will happen? LLM will take the questions as well as whatever, let's say, tools you have. Okay, and LLM is like very smart enough because it has trained with huge amount of data. It actually knows which tool to use. Okay, for these particular questions. So it will try to decide, let's say it will use this particular database tool to give the response. Okay, so what it will do, it will again send the request to the MCP clients. Okay, and MCP clients will try to use the database tools. Okay, and database tools will try to, let's say, hit that particular query. Okay, over the, let's say, internet, because this is a like tools. Okay, and these tools can search everything real time. So real time it will search. So after searching the information, so after searching, what will happen? The information it will get, it will try to send to the client, and client will try to send this particular information to the LLM. So this will become the context that time. Okay, context that time to the LLM. Now LLM has the question as well as the context of that particular questions. So what it will do, it will try to refine. It will try to understand the question. It will try to understand the let's say context. Then it will give you the output that time. Okay, so that's how the entire MCP system works. Okay, that means here, first of all, your input will go to the MCP host. It will try to use MCP client. It will try to see how many tools it has. Okay, with because it has the MCP server integrations. Okay, and server has connected with different tools. Then LLM will try to decide which tool to use. Then what will happen? It will return that particular tools. And what will happen, that tool will try to search that particular let's say answer real time, and it will again try to send to the MCP client. MCP client will try to send to the LLM as a context, and LLM will try to refer the context, and it will give you the output. Okay, so that's how, guys, the entire MCP system works. So now I think you got it. What is MCP exactly? What is model context protocol exactly? It's just a, let's say, a context protocol. That means we are trying to provide the context to the LLM. Okay, because nowadays we have like different agents integration with GenAI applications, and to manage these are the agents and tools, we have to use the MCP protocol. Okay, because I showed you what was the issue with our traditional, let's say, configuration, and how MCP is solving this particular let's say problem statement. So yes, guys, this was the entire discussion on the MCP. Now what I will do, guys, in the next video, I'm going to come up with some practical implementation of MCP. I'm going to show you how we can set up the MCP, let's say, servers, how we can create the applications with the help of MCP. So everything I'll try to discuss. So make sure, guys, you watch all of the video, and if you like my content, guys, please try to support my channel, try to subscribe to my channel, and also share this video with your friends and family so that they can also get to know these kinds of, let's say, contents are going on, okay, over my YouTube channel, so they can also get the opportunity to learn. So yes, guys, I hope you got it. What is the MCP exactly? So yes, guys, this is all about from my side. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this video, and I will see you next time.